Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League's Dungeon Bowl. We are in week 7. We are down to 5 teams left. And after this morning's game, we will have our top 4 tonight. Not tonight, this morning. It's going to be the Forest of Flames versus the Harlequins, B.B.F.C, JD Whitey versus BB Nut, Wood Elves versus Undead. Let's take a look at the standings one more time in this competition. In Division A, a Kind Sirs, Kind Peacocks. They're an Imperial Nobility team. They're also a top 4 team. 4-1-1 is their record. In second place, the Dead Poets, S Beavers Undead team. They are 4-1-1, and they are hoping to advance the top 4 as well. They are one of the 2 teams fighting for this final spot, and it's going to be based on who wins tonight. I'm going to say tonight all night long. I just said it. I just did it right there. All morning long. In Division B, JD Whitey's Forest of Flames. They're a Wood Elf team. 5-0-0 is their record. Also a top 4 team. They'll be making the cut. BB Nuts, Harlequins, B.B.F.C, and Undead team 4-0-1. They have 12 points. If they win this morning, they make the cut. If they do not, then the Dead Poets will be the team making the cut to the top 4. And in Division C, Cenozoic Park, coached by Nick Satan, they're a Lizardman team. 4-0-1 is their record. They have one more game to play this week, but they've already made the cut. They will be the final top 4 team going into this Dungeon Bowl semifinals. Big game this morning. First up, we're going to take a look at the home team. JD Whitey's Forest of Flames coming in a TV of 1,035,000 gold. They've got 12 players on the roster, but they'll only be starting with 10. Conspicuously here, missing their second War Dancer, Taft, will be out this week due to an injury. 1 Apothecary, 4 dedicated fans, 2 rerolls, a bunch of linemen, 2 catchers as well. Lost their big guy. Rock will not be participating this morning either. They're going to be up against this Undead team. Harlequins, B.B.F.C, coming in at a TV of 1,235,000 gold. That's, if we include the journeyman, that's 130K in petty cash. Maybe. We'll talk about how JD Whitey might spend that money. Might not even get the petty cash, to be perfectly honest, but we'll see. 14 players on this roster, including some players that used to play for some other teams, such as Cobra Commander and Sunday Kid. Scott Baldwin will not be participating in this morning's game. Otherwise, you got 3 Ghoul Runners, 2 Mummies, 2 Blitzers, and a whole bunch of zombies. 5 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. How are these 2 teams going to play tonight? I think it's going to be a chess match tonight. You've got the very speedy, very agile Wood Elves. You've got this Undead team that has a number of bashy players, has the speed in the Ghoul Runners, right? They've got Mighty Blow on the Mummies, a bunch of guard as well. The Wood Elves are going to have to play Wood Elf ball, right? On offense, really not going to have a whole lot of a problem with this roster scoring touchdowns. Very fast, 8 edge 2 across the board. They have the 2 catchers. One's a blodger, one's a sidestepper. Really not much of an issue scoring with this team. It's very, very difficult to keep this Wood Elf team from scoring because you really got to score. And that means your defense is so thin that once there's a, once one player gets splits or once there's a little hole, then that's it. The Wood Elves get past you and they score. Not a problem. Defense is the problem for this team because they are very, very fragile. AV 8+ across the board. That's not great. That's fairly low, and that means these players get removed very easily. Also, another problem for this team: the loss of a reroll. They only have the 2 rerolls. This was a fresh team coming into the Dungeon Bowl. Didn't have the Chaos Cup or the Spike Magazine trophy to skill up this team to get another reroll. So reroll management is going to be a big factor for JD Whitey tonight. Even though JD Whitey has made the cut, still sure that they're healthy for the semifinals. They want to make sure that they can get to the finals, get to the Blood Bowl, and maybe win this season out. So can't just win tonight, gotta win as well as possible. Is 130K down on the in TV? I think they might just spend that picking up a new War Dancer. I would. Sure, you have a War Dancer on the roster. They're your strip ball War Dancer. I'd pick up the War Dancer, honestly. What he decides to do with 130K. That gives them another MA8 player. These War Dancers as rookies are blodgers. They are crucial to a Wood Elf team, in my opinion, and they are terrifying pieces to play against. They will also be the targets by BB Nut because they are so crucial, because they are so terrifying. If BB Nut can get a knockdown on a War Dancer, he might go in for the has a bench on this roster, pick up a zombie, go to town, take a cleat to a War Dancer's face. The Harlequins, on the other hand, they've got the speed in these 3 Ghoul Runners, but they can't match those War Dancers, that the speed of the MA War Dancers. He has the 2 Mummies, Strength 5, Mighty Blow, and Guard. That is great. He's going to be getting effectively Strength 6 on those Mummies if they're grouped together, or they're grouped with one of the Blitzers. Probably won't be grouped with the Blitzers. The Blitzers are the second fastest piece on this roster. They'll probably be running around trying to take the key hits, the blitzes, with the block and the guard skill. They go in, they take the blitz, they can reposition, take a mark, and then give an assist no matter what. That is a very, very strong piece to leverage when you can move, knock something down, and then move again and guarantee you're getting that assist for another 2-die block. The 2 zombies here, the 1 zombie, James Chisholm here, number 8, has the block still. That's fine. Sunday Kid, Dirty Player, could be a factor tonight as well. Remember those War Dancers. BB Nut wants to remove those War Dancers as soon as possible. So if he knocks one down, he might take the Sunday Kid in and go for the foul. It's unfortunate that he doesn't have Sneaky Kid and he only has Dirty Player. It's going to make this an unreliable fouler. But still, you've got the skill, right? You've got the Dirty Player skill. Might as well put it to use. 3 rerolls, 5 dedicated fans. He's where he wants to be with the rerolls. He's going to be picking up money, which may be a factor going into the semifinals and perhaps even the Blood Bowl. The Harlequins need to play a little bit of a bashy game, but can't go too aggressive with it, I think, because they don't want the Wood Elves to just get behind them, and then the Harlequins can't catch up. So they're going to have to have a secondary on defense, and that secondary is going to have to be in position at all times, and that's why it's going to be a little bit of a chess match. You want to be taking the blocks. You want to be going in, getting your 2-die blocks, maybe even your 3-die blocks with these Mummies and 4 guard players, and removing Wood Elves. Your job is to remove these 88 players, so you have to be taking those hits. But by taking those hits, you don't want to be put out of position. You're up against a team that has a ton of speed and a ton of agility, and once they get behind you, you're in trouble. Those War Dancers can come in and try to bust the cage open as well. Unfortunately, the Wood Elf team has lost their strip ball War Dancer, but not too much of a problem, right? You can still get in there, take that block, and try to stop the score on defense as the Wood Elf team. Just 11 players is all you get on a pitch, right? So the Wood Elves are absolutely going to lose these players as time goes on. So if they win the coin toss, they will almost certainly choose to be on defense to start with. That'll give them the full defense. That's their weakness, as we just talked about. They want to make sure they're as strong as possible against the undead offense. And then on offense, it's just about scoring when you can score as this Wood Elf team. We'll probably see them retreat on offense and engage on their side of the pitch just to make sure they can stall out their offense without taking too many hits. This is going to be a crucial factor if they are on offense in the first half. If they end up not winning that coin toss, they want to make sure that they're not engaging on the opposite side of the pitch where they're going to be taking hits turn after turn after turn, and then they're going to set up in the second half down maybe 3, 4, oh no, maybe even 5 players. All right, I'm going to head over to Discord. I'm going to see if the coaches are ready to go, and if they are, we're going to get this very important Week 7 game underway. All right, here we go. The inducement phase. Harlequins have TV advantage. Oh, they're going to pick up a bribe, so they're giving another 100K to the Forest of Flames. They are going to... Nope. Said, nope, never mind. 130K for the Forest of Flames, so they did not pick up the second War Dancer. We'll see how they spend this money on. I don't think they have access to anyone in the... Yeah, no star players are that cheap. Not so trusty Pat. He's picking up a keg, a coach, and it looks like that's it. What? No. What? Two kegs. Two kegs and a coach. All right, so the kegs not a bad pickup in this inducement phase. Picked up the kegs. Remember, we said they're going to lose players. So having those kegs, having those two kegs mean those inevitable KOs are going to be a 2+ for this Wood Elf team. This offset anchor is going to be how JD Whitey sets up the defense to go. So the Harlequins won the coin toss, and they chose to be on offense first, so they're going to control the momentum here. Not so trusty Patches says, oh, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Yeah. Yeah, it's early. Now the offense, the setup here for the Harlequins. Big, big game for the Harlequins. They have to win. They cannot lose. They cannot draw. If they win, they will make the semifinals. And then the top two teams of the Dungeon Bowl will also earn an invitation to the Blood Bowl, the championship tournament. Four on the line for this undead offense. The two mummies, one of the blitzers, and James Chisholm, the blocker lineman. Danny Care's brother, the number 2 rookie ghoul, back to receive. There is a kicker on the Forest of Flames team. That means that the deviation on the kick is divided by 2, rounded down. And the weather is going to remain just fine here, but there's going to be an extra bounce at the ball, and it's going to end up on the opposing 6-yard line on the left wide zone. Turn 1 now for the Harlequins. They're going to set up some protection around the ball. Good action order here by BB Nut, making sure you take your least risky actions first. The semifinals are not randomly seeded. The Blood Bowl's randomly seeded, but the semifinals are not. It'll be seeded based on ranking. So basically, you take the 3 divisions and you just kind of throw them back together as if they were one big division, and then you seed by ranking. Good stun here on Kylian, the number 2 Wood Elf lineman. And now the blitz on Dabbit, the injured lineman, gets a push out of this. Blocks have been taken. Danny Care's brother back to receive the ball. 7 MA. Those ghouls, in my opinion, a very important aspect of an undead team. They give you that speed you need. Not just to handle the ball, but also maybe you kit one out as a fouler. Maybe you kit one out as some sort of harassment piece. 3+ pickup fails. Has to re-roll this. And failed the rush roll as well. Wow. Didn't want that ball to go out of bounds. Had to recover it. Failed the rush as well. Just like that, 2 re-rolls gone for the Harlequins. Pete, the number 6 injured lineman here on the first defensive turn of the game, is going to move back behind the cage. Nadam, the number 5 lineman, in front of the cage. Drehy, the kicker, to the right of the cage. Two-die blitz to the front right corner. Gets a pal on the Sunday Kid, formerly of Richard Cranium's I Want to Be Like Doug team. Dwarven team. Now a zombie with an arrow through the head. Gets the knockdown on the blitz. Repositions Kellen in the War Dancer. So just the one War Dancer on the roster today. Sets up columns in front of the cage. This is locking down the left wide zone. He's going to set up a column to the right here as well. So now has tackle zones. Here are the tackle zones. So the left wide zone pretty much locked off. Has some tackle zones here as well, trying to shut down this offense. Two-die blitz on Pete will get a push. He's going to pull this ball back and maybe back to center pitch here to give some breathing room. Not only does this give the offense breathing room, but it forces the defense to spread out. When you're on one side of the pitch, that means that the defense only has one half of the offense to really have to cover. And that means, what do you do? What do you do with the other 5 players? Well, you double up your offense. You get that much more resilient, that much stronger. Double up your defense, I should say. That much more resilient, that much stronger, and you can lock down the offense a lot easier. When you're at center pitch, now the defense has to cover the entire width of the pitch, and that means their defense has to spread thinner, and that makes it easier to crack a hole through that defensive line. Lots of Trusty Patches says that pickup would have been really dangerous to miss. Yeah, that's why he had to re-roll it. And so indeed, Danny Carey's brother's going to move back to mid-pitch. 4+ dodge will let this slide. 4+ dodge by the Sunday Kid in the left wide zone. Turn 2 now, back to the Force of Flames. Kylie and the Journeyman over in the right wide zone. Moves forward a few spaces, but now the blitz by number 7. First armor break. Second armor break? Definitely an armor break. Got a stun on Joe Marchant, the number 6 blitzer. All armor breaks are pretty good for a really fast team, right? Sometimes you'll get a stun with a slower team, but it's all the way on the other side of the pitch. Maybe you're on the left side there, the stun's on the right. Doesn't matter too much. But when you're really fast, every single stun you might be able to convert into something on the next turn. Just because it's much easier to get to where you need to be. What else? Continuing to apply really aggressive pressure here, but remember, we talked about how this would be a chess match. You can see JD Whitey not just going all in on this defense, not just rushing the offense and hoping a mark works out, or hoping to get a lucky, maybe a lucky 1-die. Keeping players into position, shifting the number 12 catcher back into the safety position, dodging away Sigzil here. Look at the positioning here. Really covering everything, staying away from this team, doesn't want to take unnecessary marks because he doesn't want to have those removals, right? He wants to hold this offense to a blitz turn if he can at all help it, but still controlling the pitch in such a way that he's trying to lock down this offense and give them just nowhere to go. Trying to cut off those lateral options here, staying in front of the cage to cut off the forward movement as well. 2-die block gets the blitz here by James Chisholm on turn 3 for the Harlequins. And they're going to move this ball up to their own 8-yard line, setting up the tight cage. They don't have a wizard to worry about. Harlequins shifting the offense around. Tight cage, inviting some aggression here by the Wood Elves. I think BB Nut would be more than happy to go toe-to-toe with these frail Wood Elves. We'll see what JD Whitey decides to do in turn 3 here. Why did I just get a Slack message on Sunday morning? Do I want to look? Do I even want to look? Do not look. Fair enough. 2 die Ward answer blitz here against Wilco Low. Will get the knockdown. 9+ will break armor. No armor break. 9+ average armor in the game of Blood Bowl. If you look at the stat line on a player there, MA, I'd say average MA is 6, average strength is 3, average agility is 3+, average passing is 4+, and average armor value is 9+. So that's a good baseline when you're looking at pieces to kind of decide how good or bad their stat is. Wow, J.D. Whitey doing a great job with this defense, in my opinion. Keeping that formation intact. Again, we talked about how this will be a chess match, and J.D. Whitey is very cognizant of that fact. Cut off the lateral movement after the cage is set up, decides to pull back, reset, stay in front of the cage. SP Beaver cheering for the offense, which seems weird. But good sportsmanship on you. Turn 4 for the Harlequins. I had the T backwards. There you go. SP Beaver cheering for the defense now. Harlequins to set up their cage on their own 4-yard line. Now a blitz on Leighton, the number 2 Wood Elf lineman. Unfortunately, this is going to be a both standing result. So now the front of the cage marks, but all 3 of those players are guardsmen. So not really doing a whole lot of work. Joe Marchant's going to get in position in the back of the cage here. Look at this. 7 players. Boy, if you ever wanted a wizard. Final turn of the first quarter coming up for us. The Flames on defense. So far, both teams doing a real good job here. The offense not getting overly aggressive either. Cobblestorm BV graciously lowers the rush failure rate from the Games Workshop mandated 900% down to a frankly unfair 99%. BB Nut says, my block dice. Oh, my block dice. Where's the raised rush failure rate option? 2-9 blitz by Caledon gets the POW here. Again, looking for a 9+ against Sunday Kid. Sunday Kid to the left of the cage. BB Nut doubling down on this cage. Says, oh, you didn't want 5 players? How about 7? Let's go. Come at me, bro. J.D. White saying, no thank you. No thank you. The end zone's over here. You've got to come this way. Caledon will be putting in a lot of work this morning. Force of Flames. The old Elven screen. Second quarter begins. The Harlequins have the ball on their own 4-yard line. Three-die blitz against the kicker here. Gets the knockdown. Needs just a 7+ with Mighty Blow, but doesn't get it. Ball still not crossing the line of scrimmage. Now on the Harlequins' own 2-yard line. Very chess matchy indeed. Turn 5 now for the Forest of Flames. They know their job is to stop the score. They're keeping the formation absolutely intact, always cutting off the most attractive movement options for this undead team. Not getting overly aggressive, just taking the blitz where it makes the most sense, resetting this defense to stay in front of the cage. The undead team, on the other hand, understands what's going on, isn't getting overly aggressive in their own right. Did a good job there, setting up the 3-die block with the mummy. Didn't get anything out of it. Doesn't want this offense to be pulled apart, especially with this rookie ghoul runner that only has the dodge skill. The problem is, as the offense, the momentum is in your hands. You've got to score at some point. The Harlequins have 3 turns left to try. 2-die blitz on Joe Gray will be a chain push. Now a potential shot on the ball carrier here. Well done by the Forest of Flames. Not so trusty Patch says, really happy to see elves in the competition. Yeah, it's nice to see just the wide array of teams right in the top 4. We've got imps, lizards, undead, and wood elves. That's just great. I love that. Like, I'm not sure I could ask for a more varied mix. Now with the mark on the ball carrier, getting a little aggressive with this defense, seeing that now might be the time. Good dodge by Leighton to get behind the would-be cage. Also negating the assist from the Sunday Kid. Takes the 1-die on Denny Carey's brother. Might just take this. There it is. Got the both down results. And the ball's going to pop free to the 2-yard line. Good knockdown here by the Forest of Flames. Harlequins can easily recover. Took a shot on the ball. Not only was it a shot on the ball, but it's a shot on that ghoul. The ghouls are just as frail as the wood elves, and they don't have regen. So I think that was a good 1-die. Alex Dombrandt in the left wide zone takes a mark on the number 5 rookie lineman. Joe Marler takes a mark on Kaladin. That's the single war dancer. 2-die block on Lopin here. Catchers only have a strength of 2. Gets the knockdown. That was the blodger. Got the pal, but no armor break. Two-die blocks a push on Sigza. And now the blitz by Joe Marchant. 2-die blitz in the left wide zone. Only gets a push out of this. Would have loved to get a little more. That would have left the left wide zone open. .28 seconds on the clock here for the Harlequins. This is turn 6. Not only do they need to recover the ball, here it is, 3+ pickup, works out. But they're going to need to score on turn 8, which means they need to be in scoring position next turn. Tried to rush into position. Failed the rush, had to spend the final reroll here on the blitz. Was really looking for the knockout on this player, didn't get it. Because that would have made this wide zone open. He could have repositioned over here. Instead, he had to come at it this way, took the rush, failed the rush, and had to burn through that final reroll. Oh boy, 2 more rushes by Danny Kerr's brother, and 2 more by Wilco Lowe to get some much needed protection on the ball carrier. Turn 6 for the Forest of Flames. The journeyman repositions Marks, Danny Kerr's brother, as well as Joe Marler. Failed dodge by Kaladin. That is unfortunate. Rolled the snake eyes on the War Dancer. It's a rush to score, but the Harlequins will probably try to stall this out till turn 8. They have no rerolls, though, which is a tricky proposition. They're going to take a 2-die block on Natum. They're going to get the knockdown here, and they broke armor. Only got a stun out of it. It's not going to matter too much here. Park this ball outside the end zone. Ball on the 20 now. Blitz by Andre Esterhazen. Gets the knockdown on the journeyman here, and got the removal as well to SPP. And a 1-man player advantage now for the Harlequins. Good removal on the blitz. Well done. And after a really solid defense here by J.D. Whitey, the Harlequins are almost certainly going to score here. Good offense as well. Should not be understated. B.B. Nutt had a great offense here. Did not get overcommitted. Often coaches will feel the pressure. Here's the foul. No, it's not. Never mind. I tried to go after Kaladin, but failed the rush. And now the 2-9 blitz on Joe Gray gets a foul out of this. And then we'll move the catcher. Number 12 moves the catcher to safety. Doesn't want that catcher to eat a 2-9 block. Same with number 11. Just keeping players safe. Says, all right. Good half. Well played. I'm out. Yeah, B.B. Nutt doing a real good job here, just keeping the offense together, understanding his strengths versus the Swaddell team. Turn 8 now for the Harlequins with no rerolls. They might just put this ball in the end zone. There it is, 1-0. The Harlequins take the lead. Very well done. Great touchdown by this undead team. Didn't get the removals he would have liked to after a half of play. It means the Force of Flames will be starting the second half relatively strong. They're also going to get one turn here. Since the Woodell team was on defense, they're going to get one more turn. We'll see if they can score in turn 8. Undead defense setting up to play some defense in this final turn of the first half. Force of Flames doesn't. So what he's done here, if the Force of Flames wanted to score in one turn, they almost certainly have to get a player behind the line here. And this is negating that player behind the line potentially. So now J.D. Whitey looking for an opportunity to try to score in one turn, and if not, hope for the timeout, and can definitely score in 2. Lopen, the number 11 catcher, back to receive. Does anybody have sure hands? Nobody has sure hands. It's fine. Has a reroll for it. J.D. Whitey trying to puzzle out this final offensive formation of the half. Trying to figure out how you can make the one turn work. Has 20 seconds left to decide. Not so trusty Patches says, sure hands are a myth anyway. Gonna try to work out a one turn here. He's got a gauntlet to get through. Now the Force of Flames on the bonus clock. If they can get on the board here in the first half, they will be in real good shape to eliminate the Harlequins. The Harlequins will have to play some aggressive defense, and that's really not what they want to do. The real skill is, sure, hands. All right, here's the kick. Pretty deep kick here. Oh, the Force of Flames are going to be able to catch it. There it is. In the hands of Lopez. In the hands of Lopen. Well, Marcus Smith on the kick. Very deep kick here with the kicker, and now just going to try to murder the line. Trying to jump over with the ward answer, fails to jump over, that's going to be the half. So the kicker coming in clutch here, the Harlequins end the half in the lead 1-0. Force of Flames is going to be on offense to start the second half. Force of Flames already advancing to the semifinals. The Harlequins fighting for their spot in the semifinals. They have to win this game to do so. They're going to be on defense while they're in the lead here. They cannot draw. They're going to have to win. Harlequins very happy to be back up to 3 rerolls now for the game. After losing 2 in turn 1. But I don't think that was the wrong call. He had to burn those 2 rerolls. Didn't want to fail that pick up on the sideline and have that ball thrown, say, to the defense. Harlequins set up in this seagull. Let's call it a seagull formation. SBB says just need to draw here. JD Whitey says, but that's not what 6-0-0 sounds like. That's not what undefeated sounds like. Well, I guess you'd still be undefeated. That's not what a perfect record sounds like. Elven team spread wide on the defensive line. Have no intentions of tangoing with these mummies. Marcus Smith on the kick here. All these Wood Elves very forward of the ball. If the ball goes deep, no problem. They'll retreat. It's going to be in the cards anyway. Deep kick. Oh, boy. Here's the blitz. 4 players on the blitz. So any player that's not marked, basically you get a free turn with any player that's not marked. Up to the amount on the blitz, you get 3 players plus a D3. Roll a 1, so it's 4 players that get to take a free turn here. Two-die blitz on the number 8 lineman. Only got a push out of it. Pushes him to his friend Alex Tombrent. Says, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, it's good to meet you." Ball's going to bounce 1 space backwards to the 20. Turn 9 now for the Forest of Flames. The Elves retreating back to the ball. This is going to be how they're going to try to stall. Attack, 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 indeed. Speaking of, sort of, not really. So Space Marine 2 is awesome. I started replaying Space Marine 1 because it's been forever. 2+ pickup. Failed the pickup. We'll let this rock almost certainly. Worried about a bad scatter or a bad bounce. Lets it rock, gets it in the hands of the number 10 lineman. That's the kicker. That's just fine. Poor Bissig. Poor Bissig. So Space Marine 1 still holds up. It's a great game. Absolutely great game. It's it crashed my computer. So you got to make sure that you got to download a custom DirectX DLL to make it work. But otherwise, it's great. 3-die block on Bissig here. Mighty Blow makes us a 7+ to break armor. There's the armor break. Bissig's only stunned. Only stunned. Turn 10 now for the Forest of Flames. Ooh. Not the worst turnover in the world. Tried the handoff there. Rolled the snake eyes on the 2+ catch to Lopin. I think I've never seen a competition with more catchers fail to catch the ball in my life. So now, the Harlequins, here they come on the aggression. 2-die blitz by Andre Esterhazen. Gets the armor break. Gets a stun out of this. This is a decent stun. Boy, you know things are going south when the zombies are catching up to you. Kaladin over here is still showing off with some katas or something. Better stop feeling yourself, Kaladin. 1 assist on the foul against Bissig. Sunday Kid gets the KO here. Doesn't get called off the pitch. The ref didn't see anything. Good removal by the Harlequins. Turn 11 now for the Forest of Flames. 2-man player advantage for the Harlequins. I think it's 2-man, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, indeed. He's just sleeping. Yeah, he's cool. He's fine. Kaladin on the blitz. 2-die blitz against Wilco Lowe. Gets the knockdown. Breaks armor. Got the injury. Kaladin getting into this game. Good regen on Wilco Lowe. But brings the player advantage down to just a 1-man player advantage for the Undead team. Kaladin on the blitz, got the removal. Very well done. Repositions the blitzer here. "30 seconds to go for the Forest of Flames." They're really trying to consider where they want to be at the end of this turn. This is the engagement turn with the defense. Two-plus pickup. This time works out. Gets it in the hands of the catcher. Has the ball in the left wide zone on the 18-yard line. Lopin, the level 2 catcher, this is the blodger, in possession of the ball. Force of Flames back on the bonus clock. Important turn here as they start to engage this defense. That'll be the end of the turn. Turn 11 now for the Harlequins. Again, this whole match, a chess match. We've seen a number of turns here with both coaches have really taken their time to figure out where these pieces need to end up at the end of the turn. Two-die blitz. Gets the POW, gets Leighton. No armor break here. Undead team applying some heavy pressure. Repositioning a few players, doesn't want to get too far committed to this offense. Sets up the columns in the left wide zone. Shuts down the left wide zone. Has to spend the reroll on the block. Harlequins down to 2. Ooh. I like how even... I like how the square covered his face. Back up to a 2-man player advantage here for the Harlequins. Rush blitz coming up, fails the rush. Yeah, we'll let that, rush foul. We'll let the foul rock. Turn 12 now for the Forest of Flames. So those columns means that he's got the whole left wide zone covered, and even on a blitz, he still has the left wide zone completely covered. XP Beaver says it's an elf team. It only needs maybe 3 players. The captions interpreted SP Beaver as text me Bieber. 1 minute to go in turn 12 for the Forest of Flames. They have the ball very far back in their own half of the pitch, but that's fine. They're a very speedy team. Two-die blitz against James Crisholm gets the knockdown. Kaladin putting in work. These board dancers are great pieces. Typically, you'll see 2 on a roster, but the second one injured and missing this game, unfortunately. Or perhaps fortunately if you're the opposition. Good dodge by Lopen to move this ball laterally to the right, now just outside the right wide zone. Comes another dodge. Failed the dodge this time. spent the reroll to try to set up this cage. Force of Flames has one reroll left for the game. Good jump by David over the prone player. Wow. Good jump there. Final turn of the third quarter coming up. The Harlequins on defense. They're now finding themselves to the left side of the offensive cage. They're going to shift back to the right here, and that's going to start with a 2-die blitz by Marcus Smith. Good stun here against David. David jumping around the pitch like he owns the place. Marcus Smith's going to tell him who's boss. Three-die block against Dre. He gets the knockdown here. 7+ to break armor. There's the armor break. There's the KO. Well done. 3-man player advantage now for the Harlequins. Iron Civic says, hey, if JD Whitey didn't want to roll dice, he wouldn't have played elves. 1-die block rolls into a skull here. Andre Esterhazen on the block. Re-rolls this into a skull, and that will be a turnover. Both teams down to one re-roll for the game as we enter the final quarter. The Harlequins need to stop the score. Came in on the 1-die. This, what is this? What is this replay? Okay. Cool. Four turns left. If the Harlequins are going to advance, they need to stop a touchdown from the Force of Flames or recover it in time to get a second touchdown. They have a significant player advantage at this point, but these are elves. As you see, they dodge around freely. Everything's a 2+ almost certainly. With that badge of a 2+. Hands off to the number 12 catcher, and now the 2-die block on Tyron Green. Wow, what was that kick? What on earth was that? Good stun here against Tyron Green. Force of Flames will almost certainly be able to capitalize on that stun. And they'll take a mark on Marcus. They'll take a mark on Marcus Smith. They'll take a mark. The ball carrier got to move into the left, onto the left sideline. Now the ball on the Force of Flames 6-yard line on that. On the right sideline. With some tackle zones between the ball carrier and the defense. Now the defense. Wow, what do you do as the defense here? Because that catcher's MA8. I think Joe Martin's gonna pull back into a safety position here. Now he's gonna go ahead and foul or blitz. 1-die blitz gets the pow on Nathan here. And breaks armor. This could be huge. Wow, 4-man player advantage now for the Harlequins. Great removal. And they've got a mark on the ball. What a blitz that was. Came in for the blitz, got the 1-die and the removal. Followed up, Joe Marchant marking the ball carrier. And that doesn't matter. Well, it's great to mark the ball carrier, but then he's got the guard skill to lend the assist for the block on Paladin. Really good stuff here by B.B. Nutt. Takes the foul, and David gets nothing out of it. Turn 14 now for the Forest of Flames. SB Beaver, thank you very much for the bits. What a fantastic blitz by BB Nut. 2-die block now against Joe Marchant. Gets the knockdown here. And now an armor break in return. Back down to a 3-man player advantage. An eye for an eye. Gets a knockdown on Marcus Smith thanks to the block skill here. Marcus Smith going to use the wrestle. Wrestle both players down. No turnover, no armor break. And there goes the catcher. Good 2+ dodge. The catcher is loose. Takes a mark on Danny Care's brother as the priority player now. This is really the only reasonable player who's going to catch the catcher. Fails a 3+ dodge here with 1 reroll. We'll let that rock. The Harlequins now need to knock this catcher on his butt. Turn 14. Repositioning players first. These are free actions. There's no die rolls. No risk of a turnover. Maybe the most important turn of this game right here. Danny Care could come in for the 2-die blitz. Catch it. There it is. 3+ dodge. 2-die blitz. Looking for the pow out of this. Takes the both down. Hopes it works out. And it does. Good trade on the blitz. What a stun. Took the both down result. Saved the reroll. Got a stun on the catcher. Oppo spent to keep that alive. Wow. Kaladin coming in to mark the ball. 2+ pickup here. Works out. And now Leighton is going to try to score. Leighton in the right wide zone on the 18. Pete fails the dodge. Turn 15 for the Harlequins. They've got to try it again. Got what they needed in turn 14, but now they need to do it again in turn 15. 2 rushes to get the assist. This time they're up against a strength 3 player rather than a strength 2, so they need the assist for the 2-die. Wisely saved that re-roll, but I don't think they can do better than a double dodge here. Oh! 2-die blitz! Only gets a push out of it. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Had to spend the reroll on the failed dodge. The War Dancer has tackle that negates the dodge. Didn't get the free reroll. It is a 2+ for Leighton to score. If JD Whitey rolls the 2+, the Harlequins are all but eliminated. They'll need they'll need a miracle from Nuffle in order to come back from this. There it is. Well done. The Forest of Flames on the board, tying this ball game 1-1. Wow, what a score. What a final few rounds there by both coaches, doing a fantastic job. One turn remaining unless there is a timeout. Now the Harlequins are going to see if they can set up something to try for a one-turn touchdown. Otherwise, they're going to pray to Nuffle for a timeout and try to win this game. They need to win to advance. He's going to go for it. Oh, boy. What an ending. This is coming down to the wire. Cobblestore BB praying to Nuffle. Iron Cynic cheering for the defense here. Kicker can't be used by the Forest of Flame because the kicker is on the line. Middling kick. All right, the ball on the 18-yard line. Here we go, trying for the one turn. What a disappointing end on the double skulls. That's a turnover, and this game ends in a draw, and the Dead Poets advance to the semifinals. What a fantastic game that was. Wow. Holy moly, what a great game. Very well played by both coaches. That was, you know what? That was worth waking up early. What a great game that was. All right, so here's how the final four have shaken out here in week 7. The Kind Peacocks will advance to the semifinals. The Kind Stirs Imperial Nobility team, as will the Dead Poets S Beavers Undead team. 2 players from Division A advancing to the semifinals. In Division B, the Forest of Flames, coached by JD Whitey, they will be advancing to the semifinals as well. And Cenozoic Park, Nick Satan's Lizardman team, they too will be advancing to the semifinals. Those are the final 4 teams in this season's Dungeon Bowl. Lizards, Imperial Nobility, Wood Elves, and Undead. Wow. All right, let's take a look at the schedule before we leave. Wow, that was such a good game. Well played by both coaches. All right, coming up next, we have our next game this Tuesday, September 24th at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's going to be Cenozoic Park versus the Tizoic Savage Boys, Nick Satan versus Tizzle Bizzle, Lizards versus Orcs. And after that, we have 2 more games left to be scheduled. And when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to those schedules on our website at maml.club. That's maml.club here on Twitch, or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. This game is so rad. Wow, what a good game that was. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store. My sincere thanks to B.B. Nut for participating here in the Dungeon Bowl. I hope to see B.B. Nut come back for Season 5. Can't wait to see. If so, can't wait to see what team BB Nut will be rocking here in Season 5, and perhaps we'll get to see an entire season of play through BB Nut. BB Nut, obviously a fantastic coach at the game. It's been a lot of fun watching BB Nut's matches, and I look forward to more. But congratulations to JD Whitey for advancing to the top 4. Congratulations to S Beaver for making the cut as well. And until Tuesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.